Hi, this is Richard Kasman, the Chief Economist for the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. I'm here with my colleagues, Peter Coates and Michael Candela, to discuss our latest issue of the Economist Corner. If you spend enough time reading the popular press on the state of the economy, you'll likely come away with this very simple story that the economy is booming as everything reopens and pent-up demand from the past year gets filled. But constraining economic growth is just shortages of goods and labor, which is causing prices to rise. Thus, the economy is just running too hot, and we need to start thinking about trying to slow the pace of the economy. But it's really not that easy. It's not just about supply. There's also a reason to still be concerned about demand in the economy. Uh, it's not that the strength of the economy is a given. The full story is very complex. The economy is far from complete in its recovery. And if policymakers do not continue to focus on supporting demand, this rebound could falter at a time where labor demand still remains uneven or incomplete in its recovery. And policymakers in New Jersey do understand this, which is why we continue to roll out programs that focus funds on and support areas of the economy still very much in need. One such program we have is the Main Street Recovery Finance Program, which is launching this year. So my section of the Economist Corner reviews the evidence as to what's been driving demand and how these drivers could be waning right now, and the evidence as to how the economic recovery remains complete. Michael, I know this in this issue of the Economist Corner, you looked at international trade and the recovery there. So what can you tell us about what you found?
Yeah, so as Rich said, my Economist Corner piece gives an update on international trade as of April 2021, since we're 1 year removed from the lowest point of the pandemic, where exports from New Jersey dropped by 29%. I'm happy to say that exports have rebounded with a return to our pre-pandemic norms of 3.4 billion, and there are no signs of slowing down. New Jersey has also managed to rise in the rankings for top exporting states in the country from 14th to 8th. So overall, it's an optimistic piece about our international recovery, and hopefully we continue the good news into the next update.
Wonderful. Looking forward to everybody being able to read about how trade is really booming in New Jersey. Peter, you covered commercial real estate markets, which is always an important topic. What were some of your findings?
Sure. So for my piece, I covered the three major markets nationwide and in New Jersey: industrial, retail, and office. Um, and really, there's kind of a good news story, a bad news story, and a kind of a middle of the road story. The good news story is the industrial market. The industrial market has done very well during the pandemic. Unsurprisingly, logistic and distribution companies, due to the rise of e-commerce and people ordering things online, um, those companies found there was an enormous amount of activity in New Jersey. There were a number of leases for over 500,000 square feet in New Jersey, including well-known companies such as Amazon. And vacancy is actually lower now than it was at the beginning of 2020. And at most, vacancy increased by only 0.2% during the pandemic. The middle of the road story is in regards to retail. Retail did suffer during the pandemic. There was a significant decline for net absorption in the third quarter of 2020, but it actually rebounded in Q4 2020. And vacancy increased by only about 1% during the pandemic. And so the cause of this, I think, is that people being cooped up in their homes all day has led to unleashed pent-up demand and the desire to be out and about and visiting brick and mortar establishments. The bad news story is the office sector. Vacancy during the pandemic increased to a level not seen in CoStar's history, CoStar being our commercial real estate database we use for analytics. And the Q4 2020 net absorption for office was the lowest ever. And between Q3 2020 and year to date 2021 was consistently quarter after quarter significant negative net absorption that's never been seen before. And this is one sector that I think probably won't recover, at least not for the next couple of years, because the work from home model is here to stay, and companies will either adopt it permanently or adopt that on a hybrid basis.
Mhm. Yeah, actually, it's interesting because I agree that a lot of those changes in corporate culture are probably here to stay, but here to stay maybe for some period of time. And as more of the economy reopens and there's a little bit of a follow the leader type of thing that always happens in in corporate culture, we'll see. I mean, it could be that people do actually return to the office more en masse than what people are expecting. So
Mhm.
that's what makes it interesting. You never know. But certainly the office real estate market could use a good boost.
Absolutely.
Well, well, I hope you out there in the audience enjoy our latest Economist Corner, get some good insights from it, and thank you for listening.